Hi, my name is Anton. I'm a freelance videographer and student, and today I want to share with you my learnings from creating an artist documentary. Last year I thought shooting a documentary would be perfect for me to gain new experiences and to have a new, different project for my portfolio. So today I will go with you through the steps I took to make the documentary happen, and I will share with you my learnings, and it's no joke, I wish I knew many of them before. Before texting somebody through a social media platform, for example Instagram, it is really smart to just take a step back and think about a few questions. Which artists do I find interesting? Which artists could have an interesting story to share? After I found answers to these questions, I connected with a street musician and thought an online call would be perfect. In this first online call or meeting or whatever, we need to find out what is inspiring for the person. What are their goals and what are difficulties for them. So collecting all information is important here, and writing them into a notebook is very good. You could also write them down digitally, but I think doing it the analog way could be a good thing for you. So just try it out. I also had some specific shots or scenes which I wanted to capture for the documentary in my head. So here it is important to just write them down. I know our brains are constantly thinking about the quality of the thought, but just writing them down is so essential to have good ideas. So my learning is here, just write your ideas down. The last point I want to cover here is gear and the overall financial part of producing a documentary as a solo filmmaker. I wanted to have the complete freedom of the content. I just wanted to create what I want to create. So there wasn't this option to get paid for the documentary. But being broke after the project was also not an option. So my learning here is, if you are a young filmmaker or a filmmaker in general, just speak with the person you are creating with. So my artist, for example, said to me here, I can pay the train tickets and the food for you. So coming to an agreement here at this financial part is important. And I think this is a good way for both sides. The artist spends a small amount of money for the documentary, and the filmmaker isn't broke after the project. When we speak about gear, I want to point out that there is the option to borrow or rent gear. There are a few online services here in Germany where you can rent gear for a month, for example, but also borrowing gear, for example a lens or a camera or just batteries from a family member or friends could be an option. I know a film production company, so I was able to borrow me a monitor, small batteries and a mic. One goal of the documentary was to show the own music of the artist. Therefore, we wanted to show on different locations how he is playing his own songs. Therefore, I thought doing it with like a multicam recording would be so cool, because then we could switch between the angles doing the song. But how is this possible as a solo filmmaker? I'm calling this method the budget multicam shoot. So the artist, for instance, plays the song 3 different times. At first I would film everything wide angle with low camera movement. The second time I will use a 30 to 50 millimeter lens to capture detail shots, and when the artist is playing his song a third time, we have all important shots captured, so we can concentrate on the guitar, on his face or on the people looking at him. But the key point is that we film all sequences as it would be one long one take. So we don't want to make fast zooms or pans. It must be one clean long shot. We are doing this to have the ability later in the edit to create the illusion of a multicam shoot. Here another tip is to play a little bit with the soundtracks of the clips to improve the illusion of this one multicam recording. Imagine you are filming with a street musician the whole day. It was clear that the shots at the evening will be the most emotional and incredible ones. Suddenly my camera lost the connection to the SSD on which I was recording on. It was really cold outside, so I think the USB-C to USB-C cable was the problem here, but here it was a shock. I had an extra SSD in my backpack, so after reconnecting the first SSD several times, I was able to just change the SSD and then I was able to shoot again. After this, I will always bring an extra SSD with me on shoots because there can be an issue at any time, so having a backup here is very important. The last learning regarding to the shoot, which I wish I knew before, is that it is so important to invest time in finding a good interview location. I really like this one interview location out of the documentary, but there was also this second interview shot where he is sitting in the middle of his room with this brown wall and you see this white door in the background. And I think the shot is cool, but I don't like that this door is in the shot. I think with more time planning these scenes and more time searching for a good interview location, I would do this differently. You will lose your editing flow if you just work straight up on the project, like editing for multiple hours. Here, making breaks is important, and when you forgot these, you will find yourself not having enough distance to the project. I felt that way, and I think building up a rhythm, for example, working on the project for 2 hours and then making a break for 1 hour is necessarily. But even if you do enough breaks, you could be not concentrated enough to pay attention to all important little things. Here, making a break from working on the whole project for a few days could be beneficial. For me, it worked that way. I was 5 days in Paris, and when I came back, I had a new perspective on the project. And when you have a video which isn't completely done, but you think, okay, it's good and I can show it to somebody, then do it. Showing the latest video of your project is beneficial because you will get feedback before you publish the video.